More boxing on the way. The main event is coming up next. Had some good action so far. Tomasz Adamek, one of the top fighters in the world at his weight, top cruiserweight, coming up live from Chicago. Joe and Teddy back right after this.
The KFC Friday Night Fight Studio is brought to you by KFC's Drumsticks and Thighs Bucket. Life tastes better with KFC.
Chicagoland has the largest concentration of Poles anywhere outside of Warsaw, and many of them have their attention focused on the happenings here at the Aragon Ballroom tonight. One of their favorite athletes in recent years ready to star. Tomasz Adamek faces Gary Gomez. And he does so in lofty position in the ring rankings at 200 pounds. Remember, he was a titleist at 175, but now the mandatory challenger to Steve Cunningham's IBF belt. And tonight he faces Gary Gomez, who went to the scales yesterday, checked in at 201 pounds, and he knows, he acknowledges he can't win a decision tonight.
Well, I think that one of the reasons why I think that that I can't win a decision is because he's already scheduled to fight the champion, and I think that they're going to do everything in their power to keep that fight going. So, you know, I think I need a knockout. I don't think it's too much being here in Chicago or, you know, the Polish crowd or whatever else. I just think that, you know, him already being scheduled to fight the champion, that I need to just knock him out to win.
Chicago, Adamek's kind of town, always alive with great sports. And this year, a little something extra special in the air. The beloved Cubbies have the best record in the NL, and it sets the scene for Teddy's Fight Plan, sponsored by AutoZone.
Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. It's been 100 years since they won a World Series here. And it could be that long before Gomez can figure out a way to beat Adamek in our main event tonight. We're going to take a look at the fight plan right now. Saul's going to play Gomez. You're looking awfully old. Not 100 years, though. I'm going to play Adamek. Now, Adamek, he's going to get a chance to get a lot of singles, a lot of doubles. I don't know if he can hit a home run. Gomez has never had anybody go out of the ballpark. He's had 28 fights, never been stopped. But he has given up, as I said, a lot of hits. You can catch him a right hand when he goes over there. You can catch him an uppercut. But look for the hidden ball trick. Adamek, very good at hiding the left hook. They throw jab right hand, slide back, bang. The hidden left hook. And if he can do that, he can reverse the curse. Adamek, the big win. Well, how is Gomez going to find a way to pull off what would be a really big upset? Well, maybe he can get a rain delay. We got the rain right now. Or maybe he can steal some signals. I noticed I was going to play Adamek now. He starts the jab, but sometimes he pushes it out. That's a good opportunity for Gomez to steal a right hand. Bang! Right there. If Gomez can do that, maybe he goes to the World Series. Well, maybe not the World Series, but he gets his hand raised.
Beautiful shot there, Wrigley, for the fight plan. For the official introductions, here's Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout, and it is brought to you by Main Event and Dominic Pasoli's 8-Count Productions. It is scheduled for 10 rounds in the cruiserweight division, and it is sanctioned by and under the supervision of the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. Director of Athletics is Ron Puccillo. The executive manager is Joel Campuzano. The physicians are Dr. Glenn Bynum and Dr. Joseph T. Oliva. Our timekeepers are Dave Morrow and John Epperson. The 3 judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point must system, will be John McCarthy, Jerry Jacobko, and Gary Cruz. When the bell rings, our referee in charge of the action will be Gerald Scott. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, fighting to my right out of the blue corner, he's wearing black trunks with white lettering and weighed in at 201 pounds. Hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah, he brings a professional record of 18 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary the Pitbull Gomez. His opponent fighting directly across from him here tonight in the red corner. He's wearing white trunks and also weighed in at exactly 201 pounds. Fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey, by way of Poland. His record consists of 34 wins, just 1 loss, with 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the #1 ranked IBF challenger and the former WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Tomasz Adamek.
Gerald Scott,
Okay, you had your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, professional fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Now, your trunks are a little low here, so this is good here. Yours is a little high. This is good right here. Okay, touch them up. Good luck.
The ring experience comparison between Gomez and Adamek. And Adamek's experience stretches much further than just those 191 total rounds. He fought and won for the WBC light heavyweight title. Had 2 wars here in Chicago against Paul Briggs. The loss was to the sensational Chad Dawson. And most recently, the TKO win over former champ O'Neal Bell, who just quit in their fight after 7 rounds back on April 19th.
Adamek likes to box, and Gomez is going to be right there for Adamek to box. He's going to be there coming in front of him at a very, very predictable pedestrian pace. And Gomez is soft around the body, so expect a lot of jabs, right hands on the outside, and every once in a while expect Adamek to go downstairs and test that soft surface around the body of Gomez.
He's already placed 1 right hand to the body. Gomez lunges in with the left hook.
Adamek makes a living on the outside. He's not an inside fighter.
Gomez hasn't fought since last August, and that was a split decision loss to Jeremy Williams.
Yeah, Gomez, in his last 10 fights, 5 losses, 4 wins, and a draw. And he's lost his last 2.
Strategically, he said he wants to be able to try to apply a lot of pressure to Adamek.
Well, if he stays on the outside and doesn't apply pressure,
he's going to be just torn up.
He's just going to be picked apart all night long.
So far at the end of those punches of Adamek. Adamek with a little feint to the left and came back with a nice body shot.
The best assets of Gomez is his game, and he has a good chin.
Very durable guy.
And he keeps that chin low. If you look at him, you get a shot at him. You see, he really does a good job fundamentally of keeping that chin pressed against his chest, where it's hard to get a shot clean on that.
When I asked him yesterday, I said, Gary, what do you think you do best in the ring? He said that, Teddy. He said, you know, I think I'm able to take away guys' power. I either smother them or roll away. And, of course, he's never been stopped.
Well, the best thing that Gomez does offensively, he's going to have to do a lot of it tonight to have any chance. And I don't think that this fight is going to be competitive. But the best chance for Gomez to make it competitive, and the thing, as I said, he does well offensively, is to time other guys' jabs with the right hand. He's pretty good at throwing right hands over jabs.
Good quick jab by Tomasz Adamek, in control at the end of 1. Welcome back to the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. Of course, noted for its Polish community. Some of the great Poles in sports history. Oh, Andrew Galata makes the list, as does Coach K, Stan Musial, Bronco Nagurski, and Yaz.
The board. 94.
The other chairman of the board actually played here many times. Frank Sinatra started here at the Aragon Ballroom back in the 1940s. It was a big hot spot in the 40s, and then used as a discotheque and roller skating rink before more recently being used for concerts and live fights. And tonight, filled with the red and white of the Polish fans as they're cheering on Tomasz Adamek, round number 2 for the former light heavyweight champ, now contending as a title-seeking cruiserweight, who's looking to finalize the deal to fight Steve Cunningham in the fall for his IBF cruiserweight belt.
You know, just to touch on that real quick, again, this is an impressive venue here. Has a lot of atmosphere, a lot of character, as people like to say. Really a nice place to do fights. Again, Gomez predictable and slowly predictable.
Of course, the cruiserweight limit, Teddy, moved up to 200 pounds in recent years, and that was kind of a product of the fact that the athletes nowadays just getting bigger, but a big gap still that exists between light heavyweight and cruiserweight to make that 25-pound jump. Adamek told us that this feels much more like his natural weight, that he was having a lot of trouble making 175. It was only a couple generations ago, that heavyweight champions of the world would have been well under this cruiserweight limit.
Oh, that's for sure. The Rocky Marcianos, the Floyd Pattersons, you know, even Joe Louis barely broke 200 pounds. Ezra Charles, the Cincinnati Cobra, one of the great fighters of all time, was about 180 pounds when he won a heavyweight title. Adamek, talking about weight, he tipped his scale tonight, Joe, at the heaviest weight that we have on him of his career. We do not have all his registered weights on his record, but tonight is his heaviest of the ones we have.
That is 201 pounds. For so long in light heavyweight.
Look for uppercuts from Adamek. He's got a short man in front of him who's starting to lean a little bit. And a punch that's made to order for a short man sometimes is that uppercut. Come right up the middle, straighten up the shorter man, and then make him available for something up top.
There's the hand speed, skill set of Tomasz Adamek. Combination punching well.
One thing our fans should know, Adamek has been on the floor a couple of times. It's going to be up to Gomez to get in position to do that.
Adamek's been in a couple of war-type fights, both of them here in Chicago. End of 2. Spectacular venue for Friday night fights, the Aragon Ballroom, and you can see the Spanish influence. It was actually designed to resemble a Spanish village in 1926. Tomasz Adamek bringing a little of that Polish style to this Spanish-themed Aragon Ballroom.
Throughout the career of Gomez, he has lost to B and B-minus level fighters, but he always goes the distance. Well, obviously, you would have to say that he's in with a fighter who is at least B level, if not above, with the former light heavyweight champ, Adamek.
Yeah, Adamek's only got 1 loss, and that was to Chad Dawson, a fight in which they traded knockdowns. Chad Dawson, thought by many to be the best light heavyweight contender out there right now.
Adamek likes to use quick combinations and his feet. He'll punch and he'll move. No ring is too big for Adamek. He likes plenty of room to do what he's doing.
Of course, Joe Calzaghe sitting on top at 175, and fight with Roy Jones. Signed, sealed, delivered.
You know, we said that the best shot for, in our setup of this fight, the best shot for Gomez was if Adamek was looking past him. I think the best shot for Gomez is Adamek doesn't keep boxing. If he starts to lay on the ropes and get a little cocky. And I saw a glimpse of it a moment ago. He went on the ropes. You could say he got a little lazy, but probably a little cocky, figuring that everything is going to be in his favor. That would be the best shot for Gomez to do the one thing that he has to do, big shot, because he's not winning a decision tonight.
Just to relay the story once again as to how much the Adamek camp is looking past Gomez towards the fight with Steve Cunningham. As Gomez told me yesterday, he said that one of the coaches for Adamek came up to him, and when he heard he was from Utah in the high elevation, fights out west, he said, hey, Do you think that would be a good place for us to train when we get ready for our title fight?
You know,
could we come out and spend some time with you?
Well, we like to refer sometimes to movie lines. And, you know, you could refer to one from Goodfellas where De Niro said, you know, you insult him a little bit.
That is just a little bit of an insult when you're asking the opponent you're about to fight training camp and location advice in his hometown for your next fight.
Insulted him a little bit.
Gomez says he will be here all night long and will pressure Adamek. So far, it's been all Tomasz. End of 3.
Brian Kenny here in the studio, Sports Center right now. Again, the big story today. Oh, yes, he has every intention of coming back. Brett Favre asking for his unconditional release. And according to Chris Mortensen, wants out of Green Bay. Now that the Packers, say they want him to stay retired, they still have his rights, though. And David Wright passed over in that fan vote. Actually passed over twice in the fan vote. Chipper Jones is the starter at third base. Now on the National League All-Star team, replacing Alfonso Soriano, who's injured. Joe.
Thanks, BK. Tomasz Adamek, recent light heavyweight titleist, Ring Magazine #3 cruiserweight in the world, and through 3 rounds, a 110-18 connect advantage against Gary Gomez. And you can see there, as we highlight the 2 columns there, that Adamek through 3 rounds has landed more punches than Gomez has even thrown. Report today, Teddy, about Brett Favre asking for his release from the Packers. Will Brett Favre play in an NFL game first, or will Floyd Mayweather announce his return to boxing first?
Brett Favre
in the race of retirement.
Yeah, I think that it's a good question. I think Brett Favre will play in an NFL game first. I think that Floyd will wait. He will fight again, but he will wait for the moment. And one of the moments will be for probably the De La Hoya fight to pass, and for him to just clear his mind to the point where he's ready to come back, and where the field is cleared, where there's an opportune fight, you know, a money fight, an event fight for him.
If Miguel Cotto gets through Antonio Margarito, you better believe there's a fight out there.
He'll be looking at that fight, obviously, to see, as you said, particularly if Cotto stays undefeated. And then I would think he'd start looking at that fight, thinking about that fight in his future.
Glad you're with us here on Friday Night Fights from the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, presented by Just for Men Hair Color. Gary Gomez taking on such a challenge tonight, facing Tomasz Adamek, one of the top cruiserweights in the world, who is set to fight for the IBF title against Steve Cunningham. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, Brian Kenny, and Kendall Gill in studio tonight. There's a body shot, right hand to the body from Adamek.
See, the double trouble for Gomez is not only that he's slow and he's predictable, and he doesn't have a real array of punches. He doesn't have a large arsenal, no real repertoire to threaten Adamek with. But the main thing is he's going to be behind. We knew that. I think most people knew that. To come back suddenly, he doesn't have that great eraser. Gomez is not a banger. He's going to have to land a perfect shot, probably a right hand over a jab, a shot that Adamek doesn't see. And again, Adamek has been on the floor a couple times.
Gomez only 7 knockouts in his 28 pro fights. Right hand came back with the left hook.
I guess what I'm saying is that Gomez is not going to land a lucky shot. He's going to have to land a real well-placed, technically solid shot.
We'll see if he can do it.
If what happened during the 3 minutes was not indicative enough of Gomez's night, look at bad body language right there as Gomez goes back very discouraged to his corner.
Not many options for him. Round 5 scheduled for 10. Gomez facing Tomasz Adamek. Tried to place that right hand to the body. Clean sweep on Teddy's scorecard. No other way to see this fight.
You know, I'd like to take a moment, Joe, to send out our really heartfelt thoughts and prayers for the former lightweight who was really a popular fighter here in Chicago, Johnny Lira. Johnny Lira has fought a lot of fights in the ring, and he's always had great heart. He's got the biggest fight of his life in front of him. He has liver cancer. He's being treated for that locally in Chicago. And everyone here at ESPN, everyone in the studio, everybody that's enjoyed boxing would like to send out their thoughts and prayers to Johnny Lira in his fight.
Hope for the best for Johnny. Gomez was complaining to his corner about his right hand after the 4th round. Yet to see him land a sharp right hand here in round 5. Good jab by Adamek. Left hand to the body, able to get underneath that elbow was Gomez.
One thing, or one place where maybe Gomez has a little advantage is he's been a bigger man. Adamek's been a smaller man, as you would expect, as a former light heavyweight champ. Adamek, light heavyweight, most of his career, jumped up to the high 190s in his last 3 fights. Gomez, as I said, the bigger man, 198 and over 14 times. He's been as heavy as 219. So, but the problem for Gomez is get in position to use that weight. And that means he has to get close, and right now not doing a job of that. Can't like what you saw a moment ago there, Joe. You know, Gomez gets in close, and he let himself go outside too quickly.
End of 5, Gomez and Adamek. Well, if you're in Chicago back in the 70s, you may remember this view at the Aragon Ballroom and watching the Grateful Dead or B.B. King or Jethro Tull. Now it's home to Friday Night Fights. Great venue for boxing here on West Lawrence Ave in uptown Chicago, where the fans have come out to see Tomasz Adamek. He said, this one is for the fans. I want to stay busy. I want to give them a show. And then I want to finalize a deal to fight Steve Cunningham in the fall for the IBF Cruiserweight title. Teddy's scorecard, clean shutout. 5 rounds to zip. They're scheduled for 10. Gary Gomez unable to find any answers so far. He's durable, but not offering up much offensively against Adamek.
And not cutting the ring down. Following Adamek around at a pace that allows Adamek to do what he's doing. Stay one step ahead of him. With punches and with feet. Again, no cutting of the ring right there by Gomez. He needs to slide to his right, Joe, as he did, as I say it. And slide to his right again. And start to take some of that space of the ring away from Adamek. You know, we've talked about Gomez being predictable. There is an area where Adamek's predictable.
Where's that, Teddy?
Oh, Joe, he's always moving off to his left.
There he does it again. Now he's circles back to his right just for a moment.
Just to make me a liar. Right. And now he moves back to his left. And if you're fighting Adamek as Gomez is, you know that 90% of the time he's going to move off to his left side as he does right there. Well, you can take advantage of that information. When you start to close the gap where you know he's going to be forced to make that move, just anticipate he's going to make that move. Don't wait to see him. Just anticipate he's going to move to the left, and you move to your right, and see if you can be there at the right time to catch him.
3-punch combination from Adamek included the body punch there.
You know, we've been hearing all about Brett Favre for the last couple of weeks. Will he or will he not come back? Will he play for the Green Bay Packers? Of course, today he asked for his release from the Packers. You know, that's what Gomez needs to do. Favre used to be good at anticipating where a receiver was going to be. Don't wait till he's there, but throw the ball before he gets there. That's exactly what Gomez has to do. Make the step to the right, and you can see it right there again, before Adamek gets there. And meet him with a punch.
Continues to let Gomez just follow him around. A little stop and pop every so often. Combination finishes up with the right hand left hook back to the jab to close out round number 6. Fans here in Chicago reacting to the scene in the ring now where Gary Gomez will not come out for round number 7, staying on the stool and complaining of an injury to his right hand, and he is shaking his head saying, I cannot continue. And let's go back and look at what happened at the end of the round. He turns in pain and frustration and returned back to his corner, where Sam DeTusa, Bobby Olson, and Kenny Smith asked him, do you think you can continue? And the answer was no. And I'm not sure that anything would have changed if he did, Teddy. This was Adamek's night to shine, and Gomez did not put forth much of anything.
And of course, I'm not questioning the heart of Gomez. He's always shown terrific heart. We figured that he was here as an opponent tonight. But I have to wonder what was hurt more, the spirit of Gomez or the hand, and what was really hurting more.
Gomez had gone a distance with Felix Cora Jr., ahead him in a Hecamanor, Arthur Williams, Charles Davis, Jeremy Williams most recently. But let's listen in to what Gomez said in the corner.
I'm going to stop it, baby. I'm going to stop it. Huh? All right. We're done. We're done. Broke his hand.
Right there, what should be clarified is the corner man, and he's looking out for his fighter, but the corner man said something that obviously we have no way of verifying that he broke his hand. I mean, he doesn't know if his hand's broken. Nobody knows that into the...
There are no x-rays in the corner.
Obviously, there's no x-ray machine in the corner, so obviously his corner man is just saying that because he's being a corner man. He's saying, hey, you know, we do not want to continue here tonight. We don't know the extent of the injury. What we do know is that Gomez was very frustrated. He was being outclassed, and the fight ended in the corner.
Let's look at the Just for Men hair color punch track, and you can see completely one-sided numbers. 507 punches thrown by Tomasz Adamek, landing 223. Let's make it official by sending it up to the ring to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 7 completed rounds of boxing, the blue corner has informed our referee in charge, Gerald Scott, that he is unable to continue due to an injury to his hand, his right hand. Therefore, your winner by technical knockout, Tomasz Adamek.
Tomasz Adamek, 35th win of his career. Next up, if everything gets done with the contracts, a fight for a cruiserweight title. Gets the job done. More to come on Friday Night Fights after this. And ever. The Wrigley Building in Chicago, one piece of great architecture. The Aragon Ballroom, another, where Tomasz Adamek won tonight by TKO. Let's send it back to BK.